Good morning and good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to a new Rapidi webinar about data integration. Today we'll be diving into the world of maximizing business energy and exploring the powerful integration between Salesforce and Microsoft Dynamics 365 Finance. I am Serene, I'm a sales consultant here at Rapidi, and I'm excited to be your host for today. And here with me, my colleague Andrea. Andrea is a data integration consultant, and she will explain in detail about all the technical aspects of integration. So let's start with today's agenda. So first of all, we will have an introduction to Rapidi so that you know who we are and what we do. We will go through Rapidi data integration solutions. Andrea will explain Salesforce and MS Dynamics 365 Finance integration in detail. And then I will tell you about some of our customer testimonials, and I will also explain how you can get started with us. In the end, we always have a Q&A session, so feel free to write all of your questions, doubts in the chat, and we will go through all of them and give you the answers to everything. So first part, the company profile of Rapidi. So first of all, I'd like to mention that Rapidi has over 30 years of data integration expertise. We started the journey back then when Microsoft was still called Navision. As the CEO and founder of Rapidi, Michael Bock was part of Navision when it was a small group. And of course, Michael is still playing an important role at Rapidi today. So this speaks about our expertise in the Microsoft side. We are both Salesforce and Microsoft partners, but we still can integrate any variety of solutions so that we can meet your unique business needs. We do have a worldwide coverage of customers through different industries. We use a flexible, simple, and robust complete solution. We use a cutting-edge cloud technology, which is really easy. It requires no programming at all, and it's flexible to meet all of the customers' needs. At Rapidi, we go the extra mile for our customers as we stand by you from scratch. If you need any help to know which CRM or ERP to implement in your company, we can help you because we do not only know how to integrate the systems, but we know the systems very well and we can help you decide. And then we also offering outstanding support, meaning that when most of the companies just give you the solution and you are alone there, at Rapidi, we do it in a different way because our post-go live support is included into the subscription. So we stand by you from the beginning during all the journey. And this is maybe one of the reasons why we maintain great customer references and we are holding the 5 stars in the App Exchange rating. I think that's all. Andrea, over to you.
Perfect. Thank you. So we'll go to the next section. So this one is about Rapidi data integration solutions. So from our point of view, we do want to stress out the fact that any integration should be made easy and straightforward for any companies. Now, Rapidi is an iPaaS. It's an innovative iPaaS that focuses on simplicity. So when we say simplicity, we refer to design, installation, and use. Rapidi is a cloud integration system that provides pre-configured mapping templates that you can use right away if you want to integrate, let's say, Salesforce and any other ERP. And of course, we do have a lot of expertise in integrating the Microsoft ERPs and other CRMs, such as Salesforce, HubSpot, but our work is not limited to that. Now, Rapidi is an iPaaS with no staging of your data. And it's very easy to be set up. You don't need to be a developer or you don't need to be a technical person. And you can connect multiple systems and companies. So if you have a large number of companies in your ERP, then you can definitely integrate them without issues. And we can integrate any data. You can have standard, you can have custom, or maybe you have a combination of both. And of course, we have all-inclusive subscriptions. So this means that you know from the very beginning what's included, and we have full transparency throughout the process. And of course, post go live, you have support from our team in case you run into issues or need any help. So we touched a bit about the systems that we work with. So here we want to show the most common endpoints. So these are the systems that we work with a lot, and that's because we see a high demand for them. So we work a lot with the Microsoft ERPs, with CRMs such as Salesforce, HubSpot, but also we work with SQL databases, Oracle, or any other systems that companies want to use. Of course, these are the most common ones, the ones that we see right now, but we can definitely work with other systems if your company wants to integrate a very specific ERP with a different, let's say, CRM. So if you have that situation and you cannot find your system here, you can definitely reach out and then we can discuss about that and make any recommendations for you. Now, if we start talking about the Microsoft Dynamics 365 Finance and Salesforce integration, we do want to say that we are all about simplifying the process. So we want to make sure that it's very easy and straightforward for you. Now, whenever you want to integrate systems in general, then there's this question like, why do we need to integrate? So first of all, if we look here, we have collaboration. So when you integrate two systems, you are able to activate all your data. So this means that you have a full customer overview, and then in the end, all the teams will be able to collaborate better. The second bucket, again, extremely important, is about efficiency. As soon as you have your systems integrated, you will not have double data entries, you don't need to switch between systems, you eliminate rework, and then in the end, you have a complete process automation. The third one would be quality. So you have data being sent back and forth, and then you can say that it's consistent. And then you can also say that's data that you have data that you can trust. And when you have that, then you can build better reports, and then you have increased user adoption. And then the last bucket would be about growth. So in the end, you have better decision support, you have increased customer satisfaction, and of course, the last but not least, you can sell more and faster. Now, which would be the benefits of an integration? So for example, if we have, let's say, the Microsoft Finance and Salesforce integration completed, then we have quite a few benefits for your teams. So first, we have the sales team. So when the integration is up and running, then these teams are able to access customer financial data. So they're able to see that straight away in Salesforce, and they can also see any invoices, any payments, so everything that's related to that specific customer. So it's very easy for them to see up-to-date information. For the finance teams, they will be able to get sales forecasts. They will be able to see all the orders directly in finance. And then for both teams would be efficiency gains. So you eliminate manual data entry and reduce errors. And the last one would be customer satisfaction. Of course, when those two systems talk to each other, you have all your data in both places. So your teams will be faster and they will be more efficient. So this means that you'll have faster response times and you will be able to rely on accurate and consolidated data. Next one would be about key integration goals. So of course, you think about integrating two systems, but you have to think about the goals. So the most important ones would be the following. You have data synchronization. So this means that you keep everything up to date and consistent. So you have customers, contacts, let's say orders, or any other type of records, and you want them to be synced. And everything you have in finance, you also want to have in Salesforce. So you can easily do that via the integration. So then everything is synchronized. Then the second point would be process automation. Of course, everything will be automated via the integration. So for example, you have workflows such as the following. You create orders in finance based on opportunities that you have in Salesforce. or you create new records and update the ones that you already have. So if you have new customers in finance, you can also send that over to Salesforce and see the same type of information. If you have some updates for some of the customers, then those can be sent over to Salesforce or the other way around. And by having this automation in place, you reduce, if not eliminate, data silos and any manual processes. And in the end, you have enhanced visibility. This means that you'll have this full view of your data in both systems. So everything that you have in finance will also be in Salesforce. Now we'll talk about a bit about the data flows that we have set up. So in this case, if we talk about Salesforce and the Microsoft Dynamics Finance, we have built what we called mapping templates. So the mapping templates have been configured based on best practices and based on both systems' capabilities. So what you see here, this would be the most standard scenario that we can see on the market. And for example, if you have a situation when you want to transfer customers from finance to Salesforce, then you can use the template that we have, and then you start testing right away. So you don't need to spend time on mapping, on thinking about all the fields, how to map them, or how to find a good match for them. So you definitely have a good starting point there. And then the second template would be for contacts. So if you want to send contacts back and forth between the systems, you can use a template and then you will be able to see results. The next one would be products. So you have products in finance and you also want them in Salesforce. So we have a template which is ready and can be applied and used, and then you can start testing. And the same thing applies to opportunities. So any opportunities that have been closed can be transferred to finance, and a new order will be created based on that. And then if you want to send updates for those specific orders, you can do that. Then we have payments. If you want to have all payments associated with a specific account in Salesforce, you can definitely do that. And the same thing applies to invoices and credit memos. Of course, these are the templates that we have built because they rely on standard scenarios. But if you're in a situation where you are using custom objects or something that's really not standard, then you can still use Rapidi and you can have that built from scratch. But we do provide a mapping template because it saves time. So it will speed up the process and then you will be able to move to testing right away. Now we will talk a bit about the quote to cash example. So as you know, so if we were to look at a standard scenario, we would have a lead creation in Salesforce, and then based on that, we have account and contact. So when you have the situation, you want to have the account and contact in finance as well. So you can use the mapping templates and simply send both records to finance with the same data. So you can do that easily via Rapidi. And then let's say you have opportunities that when they hit a specific stage, for example, then they need to be sent to finance and a new order needs to be created. So we can do that via the integration. And the same process applies to invoices, credit memos, and payments. Of course, if you need to send updates back and forth for any of the objects, you can definitely do that. It's up to you what type of information you want to update. And then if you want any updates for products, or if you want to update, for example, prices, because those can change, then you can use Rapidi as well. And as I mentioned before, if you have a very custom process, then that's really not an issue. You can definitely use Rapidi because we are able to connect to finance and transfer any type of data. Now we'll talk a bit about common integration scenarios. So here we have a few scenarios. The first one would be the order management one. So for example, we have a new order in Salesforce, and this one will trigger an automated order creation in finance. So you have the order completed in Salesforce and you want it to be in finance as well. So that can be triggered via the automation and you'll have the same information in finance. So by doing that, you have accurate inventory and of course, invoicing and fulfillment. Then another scenario would be the customer financial visibility. Of course, the sales teams, they do want to see up-to-date information in Salesforce, and they want to make sure that everything is correct. So they will be able to see all customers. They will be able to see any outstanding invoices, any payments, anything that is related to that specific customer. And another example would be invoice synchronization. So if you have an invoice that you created in finance and you want that to be synced to Salesforce, then you can definitely do that. And then the teams can have a clear status of that particular invoice. They can see what's the status of billing and payments. So let's look at one of the workflows. So a very interesting workflow is the following. So we have a trigger in Salesforce. So it means that when a new opportunity is created in Salesforce and it reaches a specific stage, then that opportunity is being sent to finance. And what happens in Rapidi? So the opportunity information is retrieved and all the data is translated and mapped according to the finance expectations. And then in finance, a new order will be created. And as soon as that happens, a new order number is being assigned to it. And the last step is this callback. So as soon as the order is created in finance, then Rapidi will update the opportunity with relevant information, such as the new sales order number. So this would be the standard process for this specific workflow. So this can happen, for example, if you have this scenario and you really want to keep everything updated between the opportunity and the sales order. Now, of course, we have talked about the integration key points, but now we also have to take a look at the implementation process. So whenever you decide to integrate to systems, you have a few steps. So step number one will be assessment. So you have to analyze your business requirements. What exactly you want to do, what will be the scope. So the integration itself would need to match your business process. Then, as soon as you have this done, you have to continue with configuration. So here we have connections being set up, and the mapping templates can be used as they are, or you can definitely create custom ones. So as soon as you have the configuration completed, you have the mapping in place, you can go ahead and test. So this will ensure that data is synchronized correctly. You can go through your use cases and see how everything is being transferred. So as soon as testing is completed, then you will be ready to move into production. So that's the deployment phase. So here everything is being moved into production and you actually go live with your integration. And then the last step would be support. Post go live, you do have ongoing monitoring and adjustments if required. And then of course, if post go live you run into any issues or something is not right, for example, then you can definitely reach out to support team and you will get the needed help. So we have talked about the integration key points, but now we'll take a look at Salesforce and how data looks like. I will share my screen and then we can see how everything is in there. Okay. So here we have one example. So this is one customer that exists in finance and has also been transferred to Salesforce. So we really wanted to have the same type of information in finance and Salesforce. So whenever you transfer data from finance to Salesforce, you do want to transfer everything that you have in the source system. So here you would have the account name, you have any type of contact details such as phone numbers, websites, let's see, shipping address, billing address, and any other information that you think it's relevant for your specific customer. So as soon as you have the customers in place and you have them in both systems, then you can also transfer any transactions which are associated with these customers. So in this case, you would see we'll have sales orders. So if this customer has a full list of orders, then you will be able to see them here. And as soon as new ones are being created in finance, they will be added to the list. So this list will be constantly updated with that information. So for example, this would be the sales order that has been transferred from finance to Salesforce. So you will have the main information, such as the total amount including VAT, bill to, ship to, or any other information that you really need for this one. And then we have the lines. So the lines would be the products that have been ordered, and you will see them here. So you can definitely see all the details regarding every, let's say, sales order or invoice. So this would be orders. And then if you look at the next sections, you would have the ledger entry. So here you would see payments. So here you would see the payment, the entry number, and then the amount, and of course, the document that this is being associated with. And if you have any specific information that you really need to see on, let's say, on a ledger entry, you can definitely include that into the mapping, and the data will be reflected here. And then if we look at sales history, that here we would see invoices and credit memos. So in this case, if we have a credit memo, we'll see the header information, meaning the credit memo. We'll see the number, we'll see the customer that this is linked to, and then sell to, bill to. And of course, we'll see here the, it should be the invoice that's associated with it. So you'll see all the information here. Of course, this is a standard setup. If you have any other type of objects that you want to use, you can definitely use them and apply the same mapping to them. So this would be more or less how data would look like. So every time there's a new order, invoice, or payment, or there's simply an update, let's say on an order, then those will be reflected in Salesforce as well. So everything that happens in finance will also be visible in Salesforce, and the other way around. So that would be that. Now we'll take a look at key functionalities. So we have here a few. The first one would be data mapping and transformation, real-time synchronization, customization and scalability, automated workflows, security measures, monitoring, and analytics. So the first one, data mapping and transformation. So we really want to highlight the fact that we do provide data mapping and transformation capabilities, so you can customize your setup at any point in time. And you can do that via the templates that we have. So the templates that we provide can be adjusted, can be modified, and can be extended. And then also you can have custom mappings. If you need to map custom fields and you need to include them into the templates, then you can definitely do that. As long as those are required on your end, then you can definitely use them. And data transformation. You can transform and convert any data. So you can take a look at what you have in finance, what you have in Salesforce, and we can set up any type of expressions or rules so that your data can be sent correctly to any of the systems. The next one would be real-time synchronization. So of course, whenever you have an integration in place, you do want to make sure that everything is up to date in both systems. For example, we have the order to cash process. A new order is created in Salesforce, and this one is automatically pushed to finance for fulfillment. So here you don't need to go into the system and create it again. And then we have financial updates. So any updates made, for example, the invoice will change its status, or there's a new payment, or there are new updates on a customer, then those will be reflected in Salesforce as well, so that sales teams can have a clear overview of all accounts. Then we have customization and scalability. So Rapidi is scalable and can adapt to any of your business processes. So you can definitely scale your integration. You can include new processes, new departments, systems, or new companies. It does ensure scalability for businesses of all sizes. So it doesn't matter if you're a very small company or a huge enterprise, we can definitely provide that. And you have customization available based on your specific needs. So if you need to customize any of your configurations, you can do that at any point in time. Next one, we have automated workflows. So Rapidi's automated workflows will streamline your business processes. So this means that any repetitive tasks will be automated. The systems will talk to each other, so then all errors are minimized. And then you have flexibility to customize your data flows. So you can customize your integration at any point in time so that it matches your business requirements. And then we have security measures, and we are committed to data security and compliance, and we want to make sure that our customers feel safe and confident about the way we handle their data. So we do have encryption protocols, access controls, and many other security features for that. Monitoring and analytics. And Rapidi offers monitoring and analytics tools which are meant to track your integration performance. So any customer that has an integration in Rapidi can get a full insight into all the data flows, how everything is running, any performance-related issues. So that will give you the possibility to identify bottlenecks and optimize your processes and be able to make everything better. The next part is a sneak peek into other Rapidi's functionalities. We have chosen a few. So here we have what we call the write back fields. So for example, here we have two options. The first one would be store new ID field. So what this option does is it allows you to store the ID of the newly created record into the source system. So we have talked about this when I explained the opportunity workflow. So you have the opportunity in Salesforce, that opportunity is closed, and then as soon as it's closed, it can be sent to finance to create a new order. When you have the new order in finance, the order will get an order number, and that can be written back into the opportunity. So you have a match between the opportunity and the order. And then the second option, it's called transferred field. So it's still part of this category. So what you can do here, for example, you have the same scenario. So you have the opportunity has been closed, and as soon as you have that happening, a new order is created in finance. So as soon as the order is completed in finance and it has an order number assigned, you can write back the date and time when the order has been created. So it's more of a, let's say, confirmation that everything has been completed, and you get to see the exact time and date when that happened. Next one, we have link storages. So link storages are dynamic lookup tables. So you can use those, and I think they are definitely a really good approach, because they will always run at the same time with the transfers. So if you have data flows running, then the link storage or the lookup table will be updated automatically. So you don't need to maintain it or go into the list and update everything. So the lookup table will store only the unique IDs that belong to those records. So as you know, in finance, you can have the customer number that's unique and is very specific to finance. And then the same customer will have an account ID in Salesforce, which again is unique and different. So you can store that in the link storage. So on the left, you'll have all the finance customer numbers, and then on the right, all the Salesforce accounts. So it will be a one-to-one match, and it will actually show you everything that has been created or updated in any of the systems. So it's a really interesting functionality, and it's being used by I think a lot of our customers, but of course it's not mandatory. But if you need it, then you definitely have it available on any type of integration. And then we have tags. So tags are parameters or variables that you can set up either at the connection or data flow level. It can serve multiple purposes, but the most common one is the one where you have multiple companies in finance. So as you know, in finance, if you have multiple legal entities or companies, then you'll have a separate instance for each one of them. But then when it comes to Salesforce, you don't have the same situation, because in Salesforce, you would have only one organization. So whenever you want to transfer data from finance to Salesforce and you have, let's say, 5 legal companies, then you can use tags, meaning you can set up a parameter for each of those companies. It has to be unique. And then whenever data will be transferred, it will go through the same master transfer. So you will use one transfer or data flow for 5 different finance legal entities. So it's a way to keep everything organized in one place, so you don't have to create transfers for each of the companies and do a lot of work on that end. And in a nutshell, so we do provide Microsoft ERP and Salesforce integration solutions, but we do provide other type of integrations. So for example, between the Microsoft Dynamics products, it can happen between Business Central and the Microsoft Sales or any other ERP or CRM, such as HubSpot. So Rapidi is a cost-effective, scalable business model, and data integration via Rapidi is possible for both cloud and on-premise systems. So if it's a cloud system, then as we all know, it's pretty easy. When it comes to on-premise, sometimes it can get difficult, but with Rapidi, you don't need to worry because we definitely have experience there. And then we have robust development tools. We have the mapping templates, which can be used as a starting point, but of course you are not limited to those. You can definitely create everything from scratch or just expand them. It's up to you. And Rapidi is approachable for non-IT users. So you don't need to be a developer or a very technical person to manage everything. And a very important aspect is that you can definitely manage everything post go live without specialized IT resources. So it will be low maintenance for you as soon as you go live. And I think that's it. Back to you, Serene.
Thank you very much, Andrea. Okay, so as a summary, I would like to say that our customers consider Rapidi as an all-inclusive investment model because it comes with everything that you may need to have a successful integration. So you have a one-time implementation fee and a yearly subscription, including the post-go live support. This means that there are no maintenance costs or any other hidden costs. You get everything as transparent as possible from the beginning of the project. So what you get as a Rapidi customer, first of all, is the integration platform. You get access to the integration configuration, advanced data toolbox, log, notification, monitoring, and the Rapidi connector. You also have access to the integration templates, which are complete business processes. They are already pre-configured, common with best practices. They are totally customizable and come with detailed documentation. When it comes to the support, it will help you maintain the integration. You can add fields to existing transfers. You have access to the integration advisory. You can resolve data errors. And this is also included in the Rapidi subscription. And now I'd like to tell you about our customer testimonials. So as I mentioned in the beginning, Rapidi is providing a wonderful solution, and our customers from different industries through the different geography always mention that they're extremely happy about our customer service, and this is the reason they are recommending us. And we do hold and maintain the 5 stars as average rating on Salesforce App Exchange and other platforms, and also on the support rating through the past 5 years. So I would like to share one of the case stories with you today, and it will be the Elimed case story, which is one of our customers. So first of all, I will tell you about the company. So Elimed is a unique and healthcare products with customization capabilities. They are improving the patient outcomes and experiences, and they caters to patient needs from hospital setting to home care. It's built on exceptional customer service and high-quality products. The company was established in 1970 by Julian and Barbara Cherubini in Boston, and it launched custom insoles and braces in 1974. So they are offering a variety of products with many available in custom sizes. So the first part was when they started transitioning to Salesforce CRM for enhanced ERP integration. So Elimed looked for enhanced sales support that went beyond what their new ERP system offered. They acquired a new CRM system and they partnered with a third party of ERP integration. The goal was to enhance the CRM and address data integrity issues. So there they had some data quality issues. They had some duplicate records. They were generated due to new accounts being erroneously created instead of linking to the existing ones, compounded by insufficient tools to manage and resolve data quality issues. The integration was basic, resulting in going record application, so they targeted an improved CRM and integration solution also. So first thing they did there was switching to Salesforce. Salesforce was identified as a better choice for managing customer data. But integration challenges still persisted. They needed to make some other changes. So the integration choice did not resolve ERP customization and data integrity issues. The first implementation tests was still unsuccessful after 7 to 8 months of development. And then they decided to import the definitive data list of healthcare locations to eliminate duplicate records in Salesforce. They realized that the Jitterbit was insufficient of handling the complexity, leading to the search for an alternative solution. So they had data quality issue in the system, and they didn't have the right tools to solve it. Then they decided to go for Rapidi and implement Rapidi. Here they discovered Rapidi's mirroring feature for data integration. We enabled seamless transfer of customer data from definitive data to Salesforce without timestamps. We defined a table to connect multiple healthcare locations in definitive data to their ERP system. Rapidi easily handled custom configurations, simplifying table management. Updates to the middle table reflect changes in Salesforce without any issue. We solved the legacy issue of grouping multiple healthcare sites under the customer in ERP. They're now able to create detailed account records in Salesforce linked to specific healthcare facilities. And we also enabled the analytics on purchasing trends at local healthcare sites instead of just at the corporate level. Also, Rapidi consultants improved data transfer efficiency, and we reduced the time to access historical sales data in Salesforce. So they mentioned that Rapidi is one of the best software purchases that they have made to help them support the Salesforce implementation. So here we have some reflections on a successful implementation. First of all, the initial focus on cost effectiveness in integrating ERP with Salesforce. They learned that cheapest solution isn't always the best. Expertise here really matters. Partnering with Rapidi improved data accuracy and integration. They benefited from Salesforce ticketing system for quick problem resolution. And here we talk about our post-go live support again. The reports submitted are often addressed overnight, enhancing efficiency. And they view Rapidi as a crucial investment for Salesforce support. So before Rapidi, they lacked visibility of errors. Now they have a comprehensive oversight, and they emphasize the importance of moving forward rather than reverting to past challenges. So here, Jimmy Matthew, who's the Salesforce administrator of Alimed, mentions, I can't imagine that before Rapidi, we couldn't see errors and therefore couldn't fix problems ourselves. We have so much visibility now. We can see the jobs being run and can control them. And we have all the details of activities, including errors in the logs. We can't go back. We can only go forwards now. So that was all about the case story. And now I would like to explain how you can get started with that. So if you're interested for being a customer of Rapidi, or if you're interested in being a partner because you have customers with this integration need, all you need to do is access the Rapidi website and go to the contact form, fill in your contact details and few lines about the project. We normally get back to you as soon as possible, normally the same day, and schedule a meeting to discuss about the project. Please follow and connect through our social media so that you see our announcement about the webinars and some information about the integration. So what comes after the step where we decided to start working together? So these are the 5 phases that we have for the implementation process. First of all, you get the discovery with our consultants. It's the integration project scope validation and project kickoff, where we discuss everything. Then you have the onboarding. You have so basically we will onboard you into the Rapidi platform and also into Basecamp, which is the online collaboration platform that we use at Rapidi. Step three would be configuration. It's the integration configuration on our Rapidi platform and end user testing. Then you have the deploy to production, which is the initial data synchronization, upload of historical data, and actual cutover to the production environment. And finally, we have transition to support, which is the post go live support, project closure, and transition to the operational support. If anything is not clear, I'm happy to answer your doubts. So, time for the question. I'm checking if we have anything in the chat. I don't see anything yet. So, Andrea, I'll be starting with a few questions that we prepared. These are some of the most common questions that we normally get. And if in the meantime someone has any question, we will go through it. So, first of all, how to set up your data integration project in 3 steps.
Yeah, so here the first point would be to have a clear scope. So you need to know exactly what you want to do via the integration. So that's clear for everybody. Then second would be to connect to your system. So we need to be able to connect and be able to read data, right? So then we need the right permissions for that. And then the last one would be you go straight into testing if you're using the mapping templates. If not, you can still use them, but adjust them according to your needs. So all these phases are straightforward. You just need to go through them, and then you know, as soon as you finish testing, of course, then you will be ready for production.
Good. Okay. Another question we get very often. When shall we start our integration when considering to upgrade from an earlier EAP like AX to finance or even from business center to finance?
Yeah, so since these are pretty common, then I would say that it's good to start as soon as possible, and you can start by reaching out to our sales team, explain your current situation, what's your timeline, you know, all the details around that. So then we can advise you on next steps and how things would need to be done from an integration point of view. But from a timing perspective, I would say you can start right away so that we can get ready and we can help you to have a smooth transition.
Good. And what would the process be if I decide to change my CRM?
So I think here the same process would apply to the situation because, of course, you will switch from one CRM to another. So the first step that you need to do, reach out to the team. You can explain exactly how you want to do it and what's actually involved in that process. And then the sales team, together with our consultants, can definitely advise your next steps and can decide, okay, this is how we wanted to do, these are the steps, and then also agree on a timeline. So all those, you know, integration related steps. And it's good to start early because then you have enough time to go through the transition and make sure that the integration is complete.
Good. Okay. How do we deal with the integration if we have plans to roll it out to other countries?
Yeah, so if you already have an integration for some countries, let's say US or Canada, then you can definitely have a rollout plan and include the other countries. So in this case, if you have something that's already running and you know for sure which are the other companies or countries that you need to include, you will need to reach out to us, let us know which are those companies so that we can work on this setup. Of course, it's not a full integration because you already have one, but it's there will be quite a few adjustments that need to be made so that the new countries are included. So reach out and then explain exactly what is the rollout plan so that we can advise on next steps and make any recommendations.
Good. Okay. Why should we choose Rapidi integration platform instead of building integration by ourselves?
Yeah, so then if you want to be efficient, if you want to save time and money and resources, I would say that you would choose something such as Rapidi, because Rapidi has proven to work for a very long time. However, if you have an internal project where you can invest a lot, meaning resources and also money and time and everything, then of course you will do that because it's something that you want to do. But I think in today's world, we definitely want to be more efficient. We want to save time and money, and we want to get value fast out of everything. So then that would be the right path forward. But again, I think it's a matter of of personal decision,
Mm,
and yeah. But I think most people do want to focus on being more efficient.
yeah, definitely. Else, how to ensure the best data mapping?
Yeah, so here it's important to know your data, basically. So, how your data looks like in both systems. You have to look at your systems and see if they are aligned, in the sense that, okay, do you have any restrictions? Do you have any type of rules in any of them? So, what's the current situation there? Because if you have one system where everything is very restricted, so you have a lot of rules, then you definitely need to have something similar in the other system as well. Because having a very open and flexible system, and then the other one really strict, then this can cause issues moving forward. Again, it's good to analyze the data, how it's structured, and try to make changes so that they are aligned. If that's impossible on your end, then it's good to know about that, about those specific examples or specific type of data where you have issues, so that we can build the integration accordingly. So we can help with that part and make sure that the data that you have in one system will be converted correctly to what's expected on the other end, meaning the other system.
Great. Okay, why should we choose Rapidi integration platform instead of using any other standard integration tools?
Yeah, so here there are a bunch of reasons. So one of them would be, so first, transparency. So from the moment you reach out to Rapidi and you get on a call with the sales team, then you will understand the full process. You will know what's included. You will know everything about the project itself and the integration itself. And also you'll have all the details upfront regarding the estimate in terms of, the total amount that will need to be paid, the hours, so everything. So you don't have any type of surprises whatsoever. On the other hand, the other standard integration tools, they rely more on a T&M basis, meaning that you will be able to start working on an integration, but you don't have this upfront approach. So you will not be able to know exactly how much this integration will cost, how many resources you need, and all those things, right? So that can be a challenge for companies that really need to allocate a budget, for example, for an integration. The second point would be the mapping templates. So we do have the standard mapping templates that are being configured, and those can be used right away, but they are not, let's say, fixed in the sense that you can always change them. You can always add new fields to them. You can do anything that you want on those mapping templates. If you want to add 10 more fields, then you can do that. Other standard integration tools will provide you the mapping templates, which will be specific for two systems, but they have to be used as they are, meaning you get a template for customers, for example. You get a set of fields that you can use. They have to be standard fields, no custom fields, and that would be it. If you have any custom fields, or if you have anything that's out of the standard box, so to speak, then you need to go and have a custom integration in place, which of course is a completely different conversation. So that's a really important point, because on our end, you can still use them, adjust them, expand them. You can add as much as you want to them. You have all that flexibility. And of course, the last point would be support. So after you go live, you do get specialized support from our end. So if you have issues. If you need help with anything, you reach out to the team and then you will get the help that you need. The other standard integration tools, a lot of them don't provide support, meaning it's not included. So it's something that you need to purchase separately, or you will get support, but that will be the first level of support, which is not the same as specialized support. And it can become challenging to deal with specific errors that you get and getting the right answer. I think that would be more or less the reasons.
Yes. Why it's best to be prepared for handling errors?
So here, I think it's important to get ready from early stages of the project. So on most integrations, I would say 95 or more % of the errors are data-related errors. So those are related to your data and how data exists and how it is right now in your source system. So you will still need to go into the system and fix it if necessary. So it's good to get ready from the early stages. For example, when you are going through testing, that's a great moment. You go through use cases, you'll get errors, then you can learn from them. And then when you go into production, you'll definitely be familiar with them and resolve them without needing any additional help.
Good. Okay, one more question. How are duplicated records handled during the integration?
Yeah, so here, when we work on any integrations, we do want to look at the unique IDs that belong to any of your records. And of course, we do not rely on IDs that are not unique or which are not consistent, because that would create duplicate records in any of your systems. And of course, apart from the work that we do in Rapidi to ensure uniqueness, there are also options in Salesforce, for example, when you can have duplicate rules configured, so that that would function as a second layer of checking if the records exist or not. But we definitely, on our end, look at unique records or any combination of ID so that we have a unique ID in the end. And also, we advise customers about any configurations that can be made in any of the systems, so they avoid any duplicates.
Okay, last question, I promise. Okay, we get this quite often. Which systems does Rapidi support?
Yeah, so we talked earlier about the most common endpoints. So those are the systems that we work with quite a lot. And well, there's a high demand for them, but it doesn't mean that we cannot work with more systems. For example, we do get requests from customers with regards to new ERPs or other platforms or CRMs that they want to integrate. So whenever we get that, then we definitely look into it and decide whether we want to build an integration for it or not, because we do have the capabilities for that, but we have to make sure that the system that needs to be integrated is the one that we really need to work with. So since we got those requests, we have built support for several systems, and the customers have been able to use that integration and have it in their live environment. So yes, I think when it comes to this question, so we are open and flexible to any possible, let's say, request or maybe ideas in terms of which systems should be integrated. So if you have that in mind, you can reach out and then we'll be able to assess and get back to you with feedback.
Thank you, Andrea. Okay, it was all for today for the questions. Stay tuned for our next webinar, and you can already register if you want. And please save the dates. So next webinar will be on April 23rd, and the topic would be Salesforce to Salesforce integration. Next one would be May 7th. It will be HubSpot to MS Dynamics 365 integration. And yes, you have access to the link. We will be sharing the slides shortly after the webinar so that you get access to everything. For more information, you can visit our website. You will find some solution overviews, about the different solution. You can find more case stories, fact sheets, and detailed documentation. And if there is anything you need, remember that you can reach out and ask, and we'll be happy to help you find the resources. You can contact us through the contact form that you can see here in the slide. And we'd be very happy to see you giving us feedback. So you have the link here in the chat, and you will also find the link through the slides that we will be sharing. If you have any suggestions or ideas or anything that you suggest about next webinars, you can mention it, and we will take it into consideration. So please follow and connect through the social media channels that you see here. And that's it. We thank you for your assistance, for watching, and we hope to see you soon.